Hello hotties, welcome back to another day of Vlogmas. How are you doing today? I always do this. I always like prepare what I'm gonna say and then I always forget it. 2025 is literally in like what, 2 weeks? And we're running out of time to be the it girl of 2025. You know, we need to be at the top. And right now, a lot of us, including myself, don't worry, we're like down here and we need to be up here. Today, we are gonna go over 7 healthy habits that you should be using if you're trying to be a healthy it girl next year. I have 7 healthy habits that we should be incorporating into our day-to-day life so that we feel at our best self. We need to be at our higher self so that we are not sitting here the rest of our life just feeling down in the slumps. And these are all things that I use on a daily, so don't think that I'm just saying this for the camera, because I truly do use all of these things every single day that I live. So let's go ahead and jump into it, because there's not much more to say. Number 1 is going to be prioritizing self-care. This is something that we've been hearing for years at this point. You know, have a little self-care day, have a little spa day. But it goes more in depth than just, you know, oh, I'm sitting at home bed rotting. It's more than just, oh, I'm gonna put on a face mask and all of a sudden everything's peachy and happy and I have nothing to complain about. No, self-care really is more of making sure you are in the right headspace. So that includes meditating, that includes journaling, really being able to get all of your thoughts out without, sorry, that's awkward. But that includes really just getting all of your thoughts out when you need to so that you're not letting them build up into the point where they explode. Some of my favorite things that I do to help keep my mental health in a good, like, stable line, considering I do have depression and anxiety and I will blow up at any moment. I do a lot of work into my own personal self-care, or every morning before I go to work, I always wash my face, I always put on my glow oil, because if I look glowy, I'm gonna be feeling glowy. You feel? I meditate quite a bit, more than I used to, and I didn't understand quite how to meditate for the longest time until I had a friend show me some show on Netflix and it was meant to meditate. I wish I knew the name of it. If you know the name, comment below. But the meditation metaphor that they use was, imagine you're sitting on a bench and you're looking at the cars on the road. Those cars are your thoughts. Now, you're not gonna sit there and go try to get into every single one of those cars. You're not gonna try to interact with them, stop them. You're just gonna watch them go by. And once I finally started to put it in like that into perspective, it made it 10 times more easy to just accept the reality of life. You know, I had that one cringy moment in the past and it did hurt. It made me cry, it made me upset, scream, but now I know it exists, but there's nothing I can do about it. Let it go. Honestly, when I do the self-care that I need, I feel 10 times better. As I said, I have a lot of ups and downs. I'm constantly stressing, but when I am in a good spot and I'm constantly doing my self-care, you know, I'm not doing it just once a week, I'm doing small things every day that build up, I do eventually, just like I said, plateau, and I'm not going up or down. I'm just here and I exist, and as my Pookie Bear says all the time, he wants the ideology of a monk, which is to be happy is to want nothing. Am I there yet? No. I like to shop a little too much, but he's definitely there and he gets it, and I want to be like that because the way that he lives such a peaceful life, I want to be like that. Going on to number 2, I have creating a healthy exercise routine. I struggle really bad with exercising. You see, I even have my nice athletic set on today. When am I ever in this color and not in pink? Crazy thought, but not the point. I struggle really badly with getting a steady exercise routine down, and I saw a post the other day on TikTok and it was like, instead of changing the goal, change the plan. And he goes on to say how he would normally go to the gym on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, right? Those are days of the work week. He was unable to go to the gym because 90% of the time he was tired and then he wouldn't go. So he thought, maybe I should just change the goal. Instead of going 4 days a week, maybe I'll go 3 days a week. Then he was like, no, because that's not what my goal is. That's not my intention. Instead of changing the goal, I'm going to change the plan. So instead of him going the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, he'd go Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So now he only has 1 day out of the week that he's working, but he still is able to hit his goal of 4 days. And I think that really does apply when it comes to setting a healthy exercise. If you know you're not gonna be able to go on that walk every day of the weekend, why not do it every day of the week? You know, just tweaking how you want to meet your goal rather than changing the goal as a whole. Personally, some of my new favorite ways to exercise, I will pull up Just Dance, like the old Wii game, and I'll put that on my TV and I will literally just dance to that. Do I own a Wii? No. But I do enjoy the dancing, and at first I did feel stupid, especially because it was nighttime. You could see into my house, and I was just thinking, what if people see me dancing? But then I was like, I don't care. I love doing Just Dance. It is one of my favorite ways to exercise. I cannot wait to get an Apple Watch so that I can actually track how much I'm doing, because I will be breaking a sweat. You know, I'm 4 dances in, I'm like, oh, that was a lot of work. I also love to just walk around. I've tried to make it a part of my daily routine of, even if I'm at work, because I do have 2 jobs, I will walk all the time at work. Even if I don't need to be walking, I'm just gonna constantly be getting that movement in, because I know if I'm working both jobs in one day, I'm not gonna have the time to get that movement in otherwise. When I'm at home, I try to get up and I will leave things out here purposely, out in the main part of my house, and then I will go back to my room. So then next time I need something, oh, well, I gotta go make a trip. And sometimes, yes, I do get a little bit lazy and I will not go and do that trip. But a good chunk of the time, it's like, oh, my phone. Oh, I left my water bottle out there. And I will be doing these actions to go ahead and get some more movement. Personally, I also love a little bit of yoga and strength training. Just getting that stretching out. I am no longer in high school, so I don't do cheer anymore, and I'm not stretching like I used to. If I could go back in time and tell my younger self, keep doing this after school, I would, because I'm 21. I graduated 3 years ago. I am not as flexible as I used to be, and that irks me. So now I'm constantly stretching and trying to get out all of my muscles, you know, make them flexible again, as well as incorporate some light strength training. You know, if I'm doing some squats, I'll have a weight with me. Whenever I do core workouts, I try to have weights with me just so I can continue to build muscle rather than let myself deteriorate throughout my next years of life. When you do exercise and you are able to get into this habit of not just sitting still all the time, it really does increase everything. You know, when you're exercising, you're letting out serotonin. That is the chemical in your brain that makes you happy. That is an amazing thing to be able to release into your system, because then you have a better mood. You're also able to just sleep better, because if you're working out and you're getting tired, your body's gonna want its rest. And if you are anything like me and you wake up throughout the night, exercising more makes it so that you're able to sleep through the night longer. And that personally was like the biggest reason that I want to start working out, because I just needed some sleep. Obviously, my physical look is something I care about, but it was really the other health effects of being more active in the day-to-day life. For number 3 on my list, I have investing in your personal growth. That could be taking courses, that could be investing in your own life, just learning more. It becomes really hard when you are an adult, or even just a young adult, so that is high school age, to want to do something that grows in your own personal mindset. And I know for Christmas this year, I put a lot of personal growth books on my wish list, because I do want to take in more than I am giving out. I want to learn, because I do not have the opportunity to learn anymore. If I was still in high school, I'd be learning every day, I'd be feeling fulfilled. And I didn't realize when I got out of school that that's what I was missing. I was missing that fulfillment of learning. And most people don't realize that once they are out of school. They just think, oh my goodness, I'm out of school, I'm so happy. And then they go in their life and they're like, adult life is hard. And it's not structured. And they're confused as to why it is not structured. And it's because they are no longer learning. You know, you go years of your life waking up at 7, going to school by 8, getting out of school by 2, 3 o'clock, and now you're doing what? You wake up and you go to work. And after a while at the same job, especially if you're just working like a retail job as I do, you're not necessarily learning anything anymore. And I've noticed that when I'm not learning, I don't feel as good. So I did buy a bunch of books so that I could take a little bit more time into learning how I could grow as a human and as an adult, rather than stick in that same mindset of, I'm just working an adult life. Adult life sucks. Well, now I'm actually learning something, and that's made me feel a lot better. I saw a post the other day, and it was just this girl saying how she is so happy and so privileged that she is tired from working. She's so privileged that she cannot figure out what she wants to wear. And that's something that a lot of people don't have the opportunity to say. And I wanted to just learn to be grateful for those own things. And so I have the privilege of being able to go to school and get an education. Why should it stop now that I'm no longer in school? And I didn't go to college. I wanted to, but I graduated during COVID. I was very tired. But I've realized because of that, I now want to learn stuff. And most people just, if they don't go to college, which there's nothing wrong with, once again, didn't go to school though. If you're able to, definitely go. Learning something is such a huge privilege that I at least have, and I know at least 1 or 2 other people have as well. So just being able to learn is very amazing, and I'm going to continue to do that because not only does learning increase my own knowledge, but it also gives me a better outlook on life and being able to rationalize things and being able to talk about it and communicate properly like an adult that I should, when a lot of adults don't know how to properly communicate. I digress though. Number 4 on my list is really just about holding yourself to a higher standard. I titled this category, Learn to Say No. That was one of the biggest things I struggled with growing up. I was a huge people pleaser. I still truly believe I am a people pleaser at the end of the day, but learning to set that boundary and say, no, this is not what I want, will get you so much further in life. If they are treating you poorly at work, you say no, you stand up for yourself and you keep going. You know, you don't just say no and give up. You let people know, I'm not comfortable with this and I'm going to keep pushing. Saying no doesn't necessarily mean having to go out and say no to people that you're meeting out on the street. That could also just be saying no to yourself. You know, if I want to get up at 6:30 in the morning to do things that I need to do, and I wake up and I'm like, I could just go back to sleep. No, I'm not going to go back to sleep. I'm going to get up. For example, it is currently 7:54. I got up at 6:30 this morning because I knew I had things I needed to finish, and as much as I wanted to go back to sleep, no, I could not go back to sleep. I needed to finish things on recording for you guys so that you guys have this video in like, I think a day or two. Saying no is just a good way to get into that personal growth mindset, as well as build healthy routines, because you are able to push yourself as well as create boundaries around you that people know that they cannot mess with. You are a strong person. You're not going to put up with anyone else's nonsense, and you're going to keep going about the day, because being an it girl means that you carry yourself with high standards, and you should. Everyone should be able to carry themselves with high standards, and some people just were never told. But I'm telling you right there watching, yes, you Taylor, hold yourself to high standards. Number 5 on my list is digital detoxes. As much as I live that y'all are watching my video, sometimes social media is too much. I never realized it, but I became so oversaturated with social media, especially when I was starting my own business. I was looking at all these other businesses thinking, oh my goodness, my store's never gonna be like that. And that was my downfall. I was constantly looking at other people who had more and were able to provide more in the beginning, that I was so stressed out in my day-to-day that I forgot and I lost sight of what I was doing. Like, I started for a reason, and I was just consuming so much social media that I forgot what I was doing. You know, I would look at these girls who had these perfect hourglass bodies, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I don't like my body. I was looking at people who had prettier houses than me, and I was like, oh my goodness, my house isn't pretty. I can't do that. But I made my house pretty. I gave it and I made it my space. I made my house a home, which is something I didn't think I'd be able to do in my adult life, just because of, you know, everything I see online. I just think, oh my goodness, I'm never gonna be at that level of success. But once I was able to take a step back from social media and actually look at what I had, I realized I had a lot more than I thought. Going back to my previous statement, I have a lot of privilege in my life. I'm able to buy new clothes. I'm able to record and talk to you guys. I have so much in my life that I didn't even realize I had. And it was because I was constantly engaging and watching and listening to social media. You know, the brain rot went crazy, honestly, because I was sitting here listening to every video times 2. I started using slang that people had never heard, and I was like, you know what? My final straw, I was at work the other day, and I was telling this girl I had to explain to my mom what spilling the tea was a few years back. And then recently, I had to explain to my mom what crashing out was. And the girl, who was probably younger than me, only by like a year or 2, did not know what crashing out was. And I was like, I thought that was something that all of us knew. And clearly, they did not. And I was like, you know what? That's enough social media for a while, because I genuinely was going through it. Now, I'm not saying you need a detox for months on end. I did do it in high school for about 2 months, and it was a pretty peaceful 2 months. I listened a lot more to people than I realized, and I found hobbies elsewhere. I play a lot of solitaire and Sudoku. Those were my outlets. But even just doing a detox before you go to bed at night, you know, less blue light coming into your mind. If you do it first thing in the morning, so you're not constantly thinking, oh my goodness, did my post from last night blow up? Oh my goodness, did all my friends text me back? Just taking a step back and thinking, everything's okay. Everything's chill. I'm chill. I don't need it. Also, it helps you like refocus. As I was saying, we all have a lot of brain rot. Our attention spans is shot. Like, we're done. Being able to step away from social media has definitely upped my attention span, because I'm no longer scrolling through 10-second long videos. I'm able to actually sit there and watch something and even not speed through it like I used to, but that's just because people talk really slow to me. Number 6 on my list is getting a new hobby. I have been seeing these TikToks for months now. I know I just talked about digital detox, whatever. But really just picking up something that you wouldn't do normally. As I mentioned before, I'm no longer in school, and so I'm not having those extracurriculars that I used to. So I've had to find that happiness elsewhere. I personally love to paint, but I've seen a lot of people get into crocheting, those little bead art things. I personally cannot stand it. I keep thinking, what if I lose a bead? And that stresses me. Or if it's content creating, I love making videos. I love editing. It has become such a fun daily part of my life that I'm like, you know what? I can't wait to do that. If it's putting on makeup, putting on silly outfits, sewing something, playing tennis, going on bike rides, there are so many things you can make a hobby out of. And I just listed off a few of my favorite, but there are so many more. Literally take your favorite thing to do and make it a hobby. If it's book reading, go collect books. If it's exploring nature, go collect something out in nature to prove that you've been out and about in the world. Just being able to go out and not constantly need to sit on your phone. You know, you can have it for music, but really just finding something that you enjoy just for yourself, not because anyone is telling you to get it on. Finding a hobby really does help me de-stress from my life, honestly. I just said honestly like a lot. Because I know that when I start my hobby, that is me time. That is time that I can dedicate to myself and not have to think about what other people are doing or how this affects other people, because it's my hobby at the end of the day. My hobby is what I want to do, and no one can tell me otherwise. If I want to sit and paint for hours on end, I'm going to sit and paint for hours on end because it is relaxing. You know, I'm not sitting here thinking, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to go to work and deal with X, Y, and Z. Oh my goodness, I have to go to school and I have an exam tomorrow. I have this one time that I can just be inside, and I just believe hobbies are important. I mean, every it girl has their hobby. Usually like one of those cool girl hobbies, but nonetheless, we all have our hobbies. Number 7. Oh my goodness, we're almost done, you guys. We're basically done, actually. Financial wellness. It is so important as you become an adult or however old you are to start saving. I wish someone told me at 20 years old to start saving now, because now I'm an adult and I'm like, dang, I gotta get my oil changed. I need gas in my car, I need air in my tires. There is so much that is expensive that I did not know was expensive. And if someone would have told me going into my 20s to start saving and to actually invest my money into something worthy of and explain why it was important, I probably would have done it. But they don't teach you in school how to start saving properly. They don't teach you in school how to invest. And so that was something I've had to learn on my own. And I'm only 21, so I get it, I have plenty of time, but I could have known this earlier. I could have known this at 18, 19 years old, how important it is to save. For the first time in my life, feel like I have financial stability. Now, I am not spending thousands of dollars a month. I am just living. I can go get food when I want. If I want to go online shopping, I can. However, I don't, because it is so important to save for emergencies that you cannot prepare for. Personally, my favorite way of saving is learning how to budget. You know, if I get a check and it is $475, I will usually put $300 aside. So I have $100, and that usually includes gas and basic needs. And then I'll have an additional $75 that I can spend on myself. So at the same time as me having a savings for going out and spending it as I please, I also have $100 that is pure necessities and $300 that is going into savings for whatever the situation may be. And this is also very helpful because as I get older, I eventually want to buy my own car, I want to buy a house, and being able to already have that savings is very vital, so that when I do get to that point, I'm not sitting there going to the bank like, I need some money, and then they say no. And then what am I gonna do? That's just gonna suck all around for everyone. If you want a video on really how to financially budget and everything, oh my goodness. If you would like a video on how to budget properly and learn how to save without feeling like you have no money, comment that down below. But that is officially the end of this video. Vlogmas we're rolling, you guys. I am so happy to have been able to do so much thus far, and I cannot wait to see you for day whatever we're on tomorrow for Vlogmas. I lost track. I recorded some of these videos in advance. I really don't know anymore. But comment how you are going to incorporate at least one of these things into your day-to-day life. I cannot wait to hear from you guys and reply to some of you guys. That is honestly such a fun part of YouTube, is just replying to comments like, oh my goodness, you coming out with a little old maid's video? Oh, well, now I gotta respond. But if you did enjoy today's video, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment what you want to see in the new year, because like I said, I posted 12 videos for Vlogmas. Probably more than that, actually. So, I love you guys. Go be an it girl. Go be a hot it girl. By the way, Club Hotties is officially launched. You are able to shop some of my favorite sweatshirt designs that I have hand drawn, and I cannot wait for you guys to see it. Make sure to tag me on Instagram when you do get them. They're so pretty. I love them so much. I hope to see you tomorrow in another day of Vlogmas. Bye. I forgot my it's not. It's 8:05 and I work at 9:45. At least I've been up for 2 hours already. And I had a Red Bull first thing. Alright, bye besties.